Ready and waiting.
This is so weird having you guys like when I to be like it's a little hinky, man. It's a little hinky.
I'm on the channel right now.
Still, oh no, there you are.
Not confirmation of people.
I see two of us there.
Yep, I'm working on it. So.
Yeah. Cool. Well, our good friend Good Guy Pie is getting us going. I might give it a try again once we get to the see if it's something that corrects itself or not. But otherwise, our friend Good Guy Pie has hosted us because mine is terrible for some reason. And yeehaw, here we go. Welcome to the Vice.
Pro streamers.
Pro streaming.
Hi.
Here we go. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Sorry for the technical issues. I have no idea what is going on with my OBS being so weird, but it is being very weird. So there you have it. But we still want to try to play for you, and so we're doing our thing and getting stuff going. And yeah, so while we are getting set up, let's go ahead and introduce some of the people who have cameras up. I see a Dragons or Cats. Let's talk to him.
Hi everyone, I am Dragons or Cats. It is actually now 5 a.m. here, or 5:30 in Australia now, and it's fantastic because I got more sleep than I have recently.
Woo!
That was great. And yeah, I play an Eladrin warlock by the name of Ishkrin. He's a funny little bugger, and I think this is going to be his first real experience shopping.
I do believe so. And there's all kinds of craziness for you guys to experience as we go through this today. So the another folk that we have on is Miss Alicia Luna.
Hello, I'm Energy Knight on Twitch and Energy Knight on Twitter. I play Luna, our Genasi monk, who is gonna have to work on negotiating better accommodations for her clients, because their Economistica does not accept cut rate accommodations.
Yes, we will not have Bird versus Plane with us today. He is off doing fun work things. But next up, let's get Jeanette, Tree Hugging Druid.
Hi, I am Tree Hugging Druid and trying to do stuff on my computer. I am Tree Hugging Druid. I play Celia. She is our high elven rogue, and she's Celia.
There you go. She is currently being blackmailed by one Florian Gilderloin, which we discovered last time.
Such an ugly word.
Moving on from, so let's go to our good friend, Templar Warden.
Oh, I'm not muted. Hello, I am Templar Warden. I am playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi wizard. He's got an adventure ahead of him, I guess. Should be the first time roughly meeting or even seeing one of his own kind here, so that's something.
Yep. And actually, as we get started, gosh, I need to get even into Roll20 myself. We will be starting off because you found an item last time, or actually you were donated an item by our good friend Wandering Silence, and we need you to roll on our table of wondrous items. So if you could roll me a D58 when you get a chance.
There we go. 34.
On a 34, you receive... Oh, this is perfect for you. You get the Hat of Disguise.
Okay. Hat of Disguise. All right.
Yes. So that is going to be interesting for our buddy. And also, who wants to roll on our scroll chart? Because we are up to 200 and now I got to look at my OBS, which isn't working because I did fill it out. We are at $235 in the spell bank because we reached $100 worth of bits. Last thing for our first time, we got $100 worth of bits, which will turn into money. So as we like to do, that goes into our spell bank. So who's feeling lucky to roll on for a 6th level scroll?
I think Kyle should have the honor since this is his first full session as a regular player.
There you go. That is a D38.
I was feeling lucky as well because I'm just sitting here rolling dice, my new level up dice tray. It's fantastic. The first dice I rolled was a 20. Feeling good. So what was that? Sorry?
It is a D38.
Okay. Wonder if that worked.
So on a 19, the scroll on a 19. Really? DM's nightmare at this level. You all have a Scroll of Heroes Feast.
Hey, good one.
Let's go take down some dragons.
Man, oh man, Scroll of Heroes Feast.
Cash that in.
I say cash that.
So,
I agree.
And then
cash that.
See, y'all thinking you want to just go ahead and cash that in? Don't even let that sit for a second. Okay.
Nope. Done.
I told you I was feeling lucky. Oh yes.
Okay, so for a Scroll of Heroes Feast, y'all will cash that in, which leaves $35 into the spell bank for a level 1, I believe. So we can get it so that it's sitting at the correct level. I believe it's $25 up into then. So I need someone, since you're on a roll, let's go ahead and give me a D67 roll. Mr. Kyle on a 45. Spellbank is illusionary script.
Oh, fun. We can tell lies.
Or we can leave it there and let it build.
Yeah.
We can definitely.
S-O-R-Y script.
We would definitely leave it there, I believe. I assume.
Lying's only bad if it doesn't accomplish your goals.
So, with that little business out of the way, let's talk a little bit about our game. We do run.
How about letting the other two people that haven't been introduced introduce themselves?
Sorry. I've been stressing about even trying to figure out how I'm going to run the game today. So we need to move on to Danny Toonarth.
So yes, I'm Toonarth in chat. I'm Colin65 on Twitter, and I am playing Kel the Wood Elf Druid, who is not all that happy to be back among crowds of people.
Yes, Midway and Mad Madam Mims is probably not going to be your favorite time. And then, last but not least, the man who's saving the day, Good Guy Pie.
Was just finishing stuff up. Hi, I'm Good Guy Pie. I'm hosting stuff, playing Look Goldheart. I'm going to be a bit overloaded based trying to set stuff up. So,
no problem. Thank you so much for coming to the rescue of the stream today, as we are trying to get it all sorted out. It is much, much appreciated. So, as I said last time, we don't have first thing, but now back to charities. So, for our charities, we do run our stream 100% for charity this month, along with the rest of, I guess the world, right? We are supporting breast cancer awareness and prevention, and hopefully one day a cure. And so on that, we are supporting the American Breast Cancer Foundation. raising money for them. You can give all kinds of different things, including helping us build our spell bank. If you look down the doobly-doo below, it will let you know some of the different things that you can donate. If you donate money, it will let you know what you can get if you want to affect the game. It is just down below. There's sort of a shopping list there. And we would much appreciate it if you would at least go check out and heighten your awareness. Prevention is the best method of survival for breast cancer. So be sure to let your loved ones, your friends, yourself be educated about all the different ways to hopefully prevent breast cancer in your life. Or if you do happen to get it, you at least detect it early so that it has such a much higher survivability rate. So for either education or whatever, I encourage you to click on the link to their website below. If you'd like to donate, click on the banner up above. It points to it, and that lets you sort of shop in our world and influence our game. So with that, as I was saying, we don't have a bird versus plane this week because Energy 9 donated $20, $10 for a party punch for GGP, the savior of streams, and $10 for preventive swear jar. Yes. So that will bring the spell bank up to $45. And Good Guy Pie, the man, the myth, the legend, who has rescued us today, let me pull up the old party potion punch bowl and roll me a D33, my friend.
He will as soon as he's back at his chair.
As soon as he's back in his chair, he's going to roll for us. It's going to be a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm. He's saving the day, and you're going to have him level up. You're so mean.
Oh yeah, and actually, we need to talk about that a little bit because we're going to do this a little bit differently. Oh my gosh, how is that going to work? Well, the stream is just going to have to trust me because normally they get to see my rolls. This time, they're not going to be able to see my whispered rolls to prove that I am that I'm not doing anything untoward.
Don't just assume that you're trying to screw yourself, right? You always do.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I do. It is what I do. So anyway, first thing, a D33 for our good friend Good Guy Pie, who is saving the day for us. Oh, no worries at all, dude. A D33, please. On a 14, that will get you a oil of etherealness for you to use, which certainly can come in handy, very much so. And on that note, I don't know, are you broadcasting the music or not? Do you know, Luck? Cool. Very good. Very good. Cool. And so, like I said, we don't have bird versus plane today. So what we are doing, we played through his level up. And oh yeah, you might not have your mic captured, Luck.
Can't I be heard? Oh,
yeah, people can't hear you. Can they hear the rest? I assume they can hear the rest of us, or else they would have been yelling by now. So yeah, what I always have to do is add my microphone in addition in order for it to work.
Yep.
But anyway, so we went ahead and played through our friend Iskatol's level up last week, since Bird versus Plane is not with us for this week, for the next 2 weeks. And so on that note, where we're going to do is sort of roll back time a little bit. We followed along with Iska, her performance down at the Leaping Lion Tavern, and all of that. We're going to roll back the clock and start back up at the top of the hill as Iskrin has just reappeared, and Axel, actually, I forget, did we have you all find the bag? We've already found the bag, so we need to let our Axel roll for his magical item that was from our good friend Wandering Silence's donation. So I need you,
Okay.
my friend.
Yeah, me
That was
does
the
that.
34. That was the head of disguise.
Oh, we already did that. Okay.
Yes.
A little discombobulated. Sorry. Calm down. It's going to be fine. Don't freak out. So here we are, up at the top of the craziness that is Mad Madam Mims. Down below, and on that note, I kind of need to know. First thing, I need Iskrin to make me a perception check or arcana, whichever you prefer. You're using your sight. On a 22, Iskrin, you come up from behind the party, and your friends gathered there, sort of silhouetted in the twilight light after being separated from them for almost a day. And as you look over the hill, you see Luck's mouth sort of agape in wonder and memory of this place that he and Faith courted in years and years ago. You see Celia sort of with a glint of memory in her eye, for more nefarious reasons of pickpocketing and a youth misspent. What you see is a crater in the weave like nothing you've experienced since you've arrived here. And a crater as in the weight of magic that is surrounding this carnival is of every type, flavor, and power that you can imagine. It is such a huge, just conglomeration of magic that it literally distorts the weave as though there was a crater sitting and traveling underneath of this this carnival, Mad Madam Mims Caravan of Wonders, and the setup.
Is it like a swirling vortex?
It's not a vortex as you have experienced. It is literally just the weight of magic. It's just, and it is sort of undulating around almost to the music, because as people are carrying that, whatever magics they have on them, the magics they inherently have.
It's all dancing around.
It's pretty much, it's a party. It is a weave party down there. The old party in the weave.
She's like,
I did that for you, Alicia.
Iskrin is very impressed. He's never seen this before, and having so many magical items there, it's just just so much magic in the area, and just cohabiting. It just brings him peace. It's good. It's like the world working in order. It's perfect to him.
Yeah, and so you see Luna and Iska start to head down the hill. Luck, I believe, was pretty much charging forward as well. I think Kel helped to find a spot to park the wagon. So what is everyone up to, since we pretty much focused on Luna and Iska's entrance into this caravan space, midway on one side, sort of a more mundane set of wagons, and then Mad Madam Mims on the other with this giant tavern tent that has been set up pretty much all but right across the road. I mean, you can still get around it, but it is obviously meant to attract attention and is spilled out not just across the fairgrounds, but across the road as well. Axel, you at one time in your childhood had wanted desperately to go to this carnival. It is of legend for magic users. And unfortunately, Grom caught you as you tried to sneak out, because it was halfway across the continent from where you were at the time. And you have literally been studying every playbill, every leaflet, every flyer about this carnival since your childhood.
Axel sort of just Because I believe, as you said last session, when they went up to the hill, he was down, sort of engrossed in the book, and he puts it away and hurries up the hill to see what they're getting there, and they're all sort of standing there. And he just puts his head over there. Oh. Wait, is that Madam Mims?
Mm-hmm. It'd be more of a, since he's up in the distance. Yes!
Yeah.
Well, he's up with you guys now at the moment.
On his way.
Yeah. I've always wanted to come here. I mean, I thought, wait, yeah, because I always wanted to come here, and I couldn't. I didn't really get out much, and Grom didn't let me go out, and maybe he has reasons, but you know, it's always like when I was younger, I was really, really disappointed. But
what are you waiting for? Get down here, you lot!
Yeah, I mean, he was with you when by that time he joined you and started yapping it. But yeah.
Yeah, you know that it's been on the other side of the Vice, on the eastern side of the continent for the last 14 years. So this is the first time it's come back over to this side. For pretty much half your lifetime, it has been away. And you see Luna and Iska go ice sliding into this large tavern tent. And do me a perception check, Axel.
19.
Yeah, 19 and then the nat 20 on if you were rolling with advantage. I was going to have sort of partial advantage on this, if whatever you want to consider that to be. As you approach this tent, your tabaxi senses pick up something familiar. And as you see the sign, it has this giant leaping lion out on the front of it. And as you walk in, this huge tent basically only has one wall on the side of it. And part of the roof has been rolled back. There's a big stage in the center of it. There's a loud band. But what you notice immediately is on towers spread all across the inside of the tent and where it has flooded out over into the surrounding areas with tables, there are poles, small towers with little tiny planks going from one to other. And you see a half dozen different tabaxi running around up on there with trays, with drinks. This is how, at the Leaping Lion, they serve their customers through the acrobatics of the tabaxi servers, leaping from plank to plank, from catwalk to catwalk, as they that was for you, as they serve their drinks from this Dwarven lady who is behind the bar, who's basically directing, almost like as though she was flight control. Basically the bartenders and the food service just lift things in the air, and tabaxis leap across, catch them midair, do flips. Not a drop is spilled as they then run across and out to all the different tables. It is a crazy, riotous thing. Everyone is in colorful clothes. There's lots of noise. There's lots of drinking. Luck already seems to have found like old friends, even though he's probably just met them, because that's what he does. And you are seeing tabaxi.
He's still for a moment, sort of just like following around, watching. Like the whole cat is watching, like a little thing fluttering around, those sharp little movements. And he's sort of at the entrance of the tent. He's just going to back out, just around to the corner, and just sort of watch from the side of the entrance. You said it was like a big open tent, so he's sort of just gone really to the far side, just sort of at the very edge, and just watch as these tabaxis sort of travel around, and just watch how they move and how they interact with each other. He's sort of studying all these. Yeah, he's studying them. He's studying all the little features and little things that tabaxi do how they interact with other tabaxi and how they do their jobs and such.
Okay, so do me an investigation check since you're sort of looking closely.
Yeah.
You are seeing lots of smiles, lots of, as they pass by each other, there's always sort of a little bit of a touch on the shoulder or on the hand, or passing off. Often you'll see if there's a particularly long jump, one might sort of give the other a boost almost without even thinking. It's almost as though they're acting as one organism, anticipating each other's thoughts as they leap and cavort somewhat. I mean, it's business. They're getting out to the tables, but they also note that the flashier the act, usually the bigger the tips, or the way that the food arrives at the table, or whatever they do. They are all brightly colored. Certainly look healthy, and with a 22, seems like there's probably at least of the dozen or so tabaxi that you are spotting, certainly close family relationship between quite a few of them, probably distant family relationship, as though this is truly just one tribe here that has young and old. You see young tabaxi who are running across. You see some older ones who seem to be a little bit more like the traffic cops at some of the, who kind of have position themselves up on individual towers and are sort of, almost like secondary hubs to push, get people to the right place. There does seem to be a little bit of people sometimes tabaxi sometimes forgetting or getting distracted as to which thing went to which table, and quick swap outs without the patrons looking.
That's great. Yeah, so he watches for a while, and then he sort of darts into the crowd. He's looking for he's looking for Iska or Luck. I think and he would have noticed that Kel stayed behind, of course, but he's looking for Iska or Luck.
So Iska and Luna, you saw as you were watching, were speaking with the dwarf behind the counter, and then quickly disappeared to then Luna's still there, but Iska has sort of been, I guess Luna whisked Iska away, seemed to be coming in with some sort of bundle of clothes, and we'll say at this point you see Iska's sort of making her way up to the stage for what is about to be her first set. Luna is, where would you be positioning yourself, Luna, to watch the performance?
I imagine I'd be more towards the back so I can get a better feel of how the entire crowd is
I mean, like I say, it's kind of like, describe back. Back is probably closer, believe it or not, it's probably closer to the bar.
That's what I was imagining,
unless you want to get completely outside of the tent and watch from afar.
By the bar.
Okay. So you see that Luna has sort of positioned herself up by the bar. Luck has, I don't know, Luck, who have you found? There is a big, loud group of humans that is here. There is a mixed group of half-elves and elves who are a little bit quieter, but seem to be well in their cups. There are some dwarves who are dancing on tables, halflings. There's a gnome who is... you're not quite sure what the gnome is trying to do, other than maybe he's trying to emulate the tabaxi servers and is not doing a good job at it. He seems to be on the floor more than he is up on tables or benches. You name it, every walk of life is here. There's old, there's young.
I think I'm going to take a little bit of RP liberties here, but I think Luke has found himself a group of old adventurers, old gilded adventurers who are they've got scars and stuff, and they're probably sharing a bunch of old stories, and he's piped in, sat down, listened into one, and then he's jumped in with his own one at some point, as he's probably halfway through his tail catcher of the bear scar, the one that always gets people interested. Right.
Okay. So as you're doing that, I need to let you know a little bit about your mechanic for the next 2 episodes. So I decided that what's the fun of you knowing whether or not you've passed your sanity checks? What's the fun in that, right? So you're going to be rolling lots of sanity checks. I'm going to be flipping a coin as to whether or not it's a real one or a fake one until we build up that you get the 4 real sanity checks that you need. So that way you're not going to know whether or not you've passed them or failed them yourself, much less whether luck knows, because losing your mind's not something you usually recognize. So I'm
I prepaid, right, Jay?
Huh?
You're not a nice person.
Well played.
Yeah. So I need you to roll a sanity. I guess it's just your D20. What's your sanity at right now?
I believe it is a 15.
So I need you to roll a D20.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
On a 20.
I hope this is a fake one.
So, this is just like Call of Cthulhu, folks. So it is, you want to get underneath your sanity to not go further insane. As you are approaching all of these old adventures and remembering them, you see some people with scars, but the big thing that comes back to you, in fact, you almost tell the story about the dragon until you start to remember that feeling that came over you, that darkness when you were doing so well with your attacks, but that the rage almost seemed to overcome you. And as your mind drifts to that place, there's almost a little, you almost shiver and back away from it. But then you sort of come back and start drinking again and having some fun. So to make this seem really real, I still need you to roll your one, I think it's a D40 is what we're up to now for your insanity effects.
You've been busy.
I've been busy. Where is sanity? Where is the old sanity chart? Where did I put the sanity chart?
What do you think he did during the hurricane?
So yes, I need you to roll a D40. 1D40.
What?
On a 16. Good to know. Okay. And you get back to drinking and having just a good old time with a lot of these old adventures. They've got some great stories. They've just all come through, for the most part, have just come through the Vice with Mad Madam Mims. Do me a performance check to see if they're opening up to you about the trip or whether they're just telling tales. On an 11, they're telling you just the tiger spider was this big, and general old man stories about how harrowing and how brave they were as they came through the Vice. Iskrin, what are you up to?
My good friend, Iskrin's been doing quite the hard amount of teleporting around from stall to person to thing to whatever bump in the weave there is, and within the area of the cart, as the group's going, it's getting parked, and he goes over to Axel. He goes, Axel, I need the ring, the double ring within the ring. Sphere within a sphere.
You can remind him who has it.
Luna has it. Because we gave it to Luna. We all know Luna's really reliable, so we gave it to Luna.
Oh, my cat would love this. Alright, no, that's alright. I'll find her in a minute.
Is that the first anyone else has heard about the cat? Or did Kel tell everyone about the cat?
No one told anyone about it. I
No,
don't think
Kel, when he was in the ring, met the cat.
Yeah.
I met the cat and spoke to the cat because
I know, but did you tell anyone else about the cat?
no, I didn't.
Okay, so yeah, this is the first you've heard about a cat, Templar.
There was no time for me to because events swept us away.
And he's just very excited. He's got his green colors on, his cherry blossom pink robes happening. He's sticking with the cart, and I think for a couple of moments, like Celia or Luna or someone would have to like grab him and pull him away because he'd be like looking at someone and someone would be getting really angry at him, picking stuff up and looking at it, just being like, "Ooh," and just examining stuff and just being completely erratic.
Celia, so are you taking care of Iskrin as he basically is turned into a hyperactive 8-year-old who's been eating sugar and candy and pixie sticks all day?
Yeah, batten down your bow over there.
Yeah, Celia is just going to follow him around every time he teleports, like, and kind of dash over to him. And every time he, and she'll just like put it back. She'll be like, "Calm down. Calm down."
Do me an investigation check, Iskrin. Completely packed full of magical scrolls of various age and type. Seems it's actually been set up quite flashily to have lots of showy movement of different potion, but it is pretty much like freshly distilled out of the main batch type. Type potions, it's craft potions. They are flashy and very nice. You find carts that are loaded, like vendors' carts that have all sorts of different types of wines. So you will say you're sort of taking all of this in as well, of different shopping possibilities and fencing possibilities as well, since you all have quite over the next day or so. Do you guys make it to the tavern, or are you guys out and about looking at all of the things? There are street performers, street acts that are out there. There are people with tarot cards. There are dice games happening pretty much around every corner. There is this one big main tent that seems to be closed off right now, but obviously used for some big type of shows, etc. Go ahead, Iskrin.
I would like to go to the scroll cart. Teleport straight up to... can I see a scroll that is littered just super deep with life and nature weave?
Do me a Arcana check.
Sorry, that was pretty meta. That's actually that's pretty lucky.
There are so many here. They sort of all blend together. I mean, literally, it's racks of cards. There is a vendor here who might be able to assist you.
Can I try with that? Can I try to perceive the strongest one?
Literally, when they're packed this tightly together, I mean, you see more just that they're it just becomes blurred. There's so much magic here. You don't have the resolution quite, is the best way to put it. Your sight does not have the resolution to actually get in that close.
Only at 280p.
Yeah.
I pull out a scroll and I teleport over to Celia.
So I mean, you wouldn't be able to actually get to the scrolls. They're they're behind a sort of a. They're like up in the cart. The vendor's there, standing. Right. They're behind him, sort of in those sort of diamond shaped, almost looks like a wine rack behind him. And it's an older gentleman. He's sort of looking at you and seeing you, kind of. So he figures you might be interested in something. Yes. Can I help you?
Whoa. You just got like nothing compared to the rest back there. I could see you plain as day. Hi. Give me your powerful.
Hello. I'm sorry?
Which one's your most potent blur? The weave. You can't see it. It's behind you. It's directly behind you. Like, which one of those? I can't see. They're all mixed together. All right.
Well, maybe you could just tell me what you're looking for. What kind of spell? Conjuration, or maybe an enchantment?
Enchantment. I'll take that one.
Well, which enchantment?
Celia! What should I do? What should I get? I'm gonna get the big one. Can I get a... Give me your most powerful. And he's just gonna like give him a wink. And be really sly.
Is Celia around?
Celia's around.
He kind of looks around you, looks around Iskrin and looks at Celia and's like... Do you know what he's asking for?
Celia is just like...
I mean, we do have some quite powerful scrolls, but they are quite expensive. But it would be most helpful if you could tell me what he really is looking for. And he seems a little distraught at this point.
Just hand him a potion. That'll be fine. Just pick one.
We don't sell potions. We just sell scrolls. Oh, sorry.
There. Put some liquid and a flask. Hand it to him. You're fine.
Can I see your most... Where'd you get these? Can I see your most powerful?
I mean, roll a D46.
All right. Because I know how to roll.
On a 45. This isn't an enchantment, so to say. It's more of an evocation. But this is one of our strongest. It is a wall of force. It is used for protection of some sort. If you find yourself maybe being in a dire straits, it certainly could be helpful. But as I say, our scrolls are quite pricey for such items.
Can I have this one free, and then I'll take you to the Feywilds? One day. I'll take you beyond the spheres if you want. Have you ever seen the spheres? I'll show you. I'm going to put my hand
on the scroll and puts it back, and good day. And
you need to get your man, Celia.
He's just chasing after the man. Just going, no, wait, look, there is an infinite amount of planets and spheres and worlds out there. I can show you the world. And then he just gives up after he sees a tabaxi walking across people's shoulders or something, and goes boom, leaves out.
So we will leave Celia and Iskrin on their shopping. Yeah, do you do anything to help assure this poor shop caravan keeper, Celia, or do you just let Iskrin go on his way?
Celia's gonna chase Iskrin down and just try and be like, come on, don't.
Just tug him by the cloak and then just disappears.
Use Luna's tactics. Chokehold.
It works pretty well.
So speaking of, let's go back over. Well, actually, let's check in with Kel. We know that later on you show up at the performance. Were you wandering around the carnival in squirnival form, in squirrel form?
Fat out of the Squirnival, make it happen. I'll pay for it.
No, pretty much he stayed as a squirrel up in the tree above the cart, just kind of watching until, like we went through last time, Iska got to that point in her set, she was playing so well, and gradually he kind of made his way unobtrusively, scooting along to maybe a closer top of a tent or something so he could hear and see better, until the point where she sings, her
Children of the Children, and does his little
shtick and then runs away.
So 2 things. 1, do me a perception check from when you were back at the wagon.
Oh. Okay.
Squirrel perception, which I guess is your perception still.
Yeah.
On a 10, and this isn't hard to see because you're keeping an eye on the wagon. In fact, you missed it until pretty much the last second of it. You were kind of listening to music. There was, your mind was kind of elsewhere a little bit. And suddenly from below you, you hear an ow, 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 ow. And a damn tree bit me. And as you see someone backing out of your cart, apparently someone was trying to maybe nip some of all of the treasure that is in your cart currently, but Tian shot a leaf into them to keep them away. So you didn't see him actually sneaking up and get a surprise by Tian, but you did see him with a big bronze leaf basically in his hand as he was yanking his hand back after trying to possibly pilfer some of y'all's treasure, seeing that looked like a abandoned, unguarded cart.
Barking up the wrong tree.
Barking up the wrong tree. Speaking of which, I assume that that Grain is at the wagon as well.
No, Grain's with him.
Grain's with you.
Oh yeah, he's a storytelling piece. He's an important integral of the duo of storytelling.
I could see that. So that's happening. I will say it's probably about. We'll say we're probably at the end of Iska's first.
One thing I would like to do to the guy that, as he backs away from the cart, since I'm a squirrel, I would like to, since I'm up in the tree above him, jump down on his shoulder and just nip him really hard on the earlobe.
Okay, and
and then run away.
Yeah, he's in full run by this point. He got spooked by the tree and then now being attacked by a squirrel. He's left decided to leave the cart alone at this point. I'm sure getting whispered infernal in his ear probably was not very concerning as well, or was very disconcerting as well. Axel, we left you sort of a little bit shy, I guess, right now. What are you up to? Iska's been playing for about an hour. She had a really kind of wild and crazy first set. A lot of drinking songs, sort of raucous things. The crowd loves her. Coins have been being tossed. You see some of the Tabaxis are clapping along. Luck is reminding everyone, not just at his table, but at every table around him, that he knows her and that she's his friend.
Axel would have been caught up in the drinking and the party. He sort of got very distracted It's like, oh yeah, go tell Luck all these things that Iska's up on stage and playing music. And so he gets caught up in all of it. He gets a couple of the dwarven style ales, and gets caught up in sort of the dancing. And in fact, if he finds a moment, he'll scramble up those poles out of the way of any of the other tabaxi and just sort of try and at least join in with at least get a good view from up there as well.
Okay.
And it's sort of very, if one of them's sort of taken off a shift to, of course, he said clap or sort of play along, he will join them. It's weird. He's really hyper and excited, but just doesn't get too close. There's always that really safe amount of space that he's not sure if he can actually get that close, but he still tries to join them, sort of thing. It's like, yeah, I'm the side of this group and I want to join. Yeah.
Oh, hi. What are you doing up here? You turn around and see you see a small young female tabaxi sort of has snuck up behind you. You aren't on one of the main catwalks. There's no planks attaching this, but this is sort of another pole. I guess you can be here.
Okay. I didn't want to get in anyone's way, but it's really nice view up here, and well, usually when I'm anywhere, they don't have places like this for people like me.
What do you mean people like you?
Been anywhere that they. Yeah. Well, Tabaxi, I've never been I was in Sojourn's Crossing, and they don't have high spaces for me to sit on, and this is really I get a good view, and yeah.
You were in Sojourn's Crossing, huh? It'll be my first time there. This is my first time on the West. What's the West like?
I don't. Well, it's.
Is it cool? Is it fun? I hear the Dragon Gust Plains. Is it always windy? How can it be windy all the time? I don't understand that.
Well, yeah, because what happens is, well, we were on there, and because it's really big and flat, so all the wind goes, and it's just no cover. You can't hide behind anything, so you're just out in the open. And sometimes there's this big.
Wait, there's no trees. There's no trees. What do I? So there's no trees, and that's why there's the wind.
Well, yeah, there's no trees, and the trees don't stop the wind, so there's just wind, and so it just kicks up. And there's actually dust storms, and they're kind of dangerous. You don't want to be caught out in one of those. But
wow, I'd like to see a dust storm. Are they cool? Can you ride up in them?
Yes, and you don't want to, because that could hurt you. That could hurt you really bad. And we were in a dust storm once, and everyone was really scared, and people got hurt. People got.
Oh, that's not good. You don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, but I imagine.
So where's the rest of your tribe?
Well, I've got an adopted tribe. They're down there. There's Luck, and Iska is the one on the stage. She's
good. I really like her. She's really good. Oh, hi. I'm Stacks Too Many Plates.
Hi, I'm hidden by Axel. Yeah.
So, you're new here. Where are you going? Are you didn't come through the Vice with us, did you? I don't think I saw you during the Vice. Vice is scary. That's really, really bad stuff that's in there. I couldn't believe it. I didn't quite know if we were going to make it across.
I heard all the stories, and so I heard the stories from Harold in Sojourn's Crossing.
Harold?
And from he's a big is he a half orc?
He's an orc.
Yeah,
he's a full orc.
Yeah, he's a big orc, and he's married to
an orc, a real orc, like not just a half orc, like an actual orc.
Yeah, he's an orc, and he goes through the Vice.
Where'd you meet an orc?
Huh?
Where'd you meet an orc?
Sojourn's Crossing. His wife.
They have orcs in Sojourn's Crossing.
Yeah, and they have trolls and noblins and all sorts of things.
But
no
tabaxi. Oh! I met some noblins. They were down at West.
Okay, so they're on the West noodles. Yeah. They had noodles here. It was brilliant. It's really, really great. Got to go for the hot ones. That's perfect. Because we're going to go through the Vice from this side to the other side now. But I've never been to. I've never been to the West, so I can't say how the West is compared to the East. But places that you should go. Well, I mean, Sojourn's Crossing is great, and but I suppose I know Luck has a place that he has a little town, and I think if you go talk to him, he'll probably really tell you a lot about it. And then Iska comes from Highmount, I think, and so she'll tell you a lot about it.
And that's where we're headed. We're going to Highmount. We're going there for the conclave. That's why we're here. That's why we came across, because the conclave is happening in 6 months, and so we're doing a big tour, and then we're going to end up at the conclave.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we might meet you then, because we're going to go to the conclave, I think. There's a lot happening, so we're doing lots of traveling. But we might go there. That'd be good. Yeah. And Axel's he's calming down now finally.
Well, that's great. It was nice to meet you. I guess you can stay up here if you want to stay up here, but I've got to get back to work. This is all my family. It's my tribe. We've been working in the Leaping Lion for generations.
That's great. I mean, yeah, I never knew my tribe, and I was adopted. But it's so great to see this. Yeah.
Well, have fun. Enjoy the rest of the evening. You can call me Stack. Bye.
Okay,
and
bye, Stack. Yep. That was energetic. Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired just listening to that. It was like. It was so back and forth.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
That was wonderful.
That was
That
beautiful.
was so good.
I just lost that Stack too much.
Stack's too many crits. I like it.
So,
Yeah, Axel's grinning and he's enjoying a drink, but with a good view. He's calmed down now, but he's not joining in the partying so much.
Okay.
Got a big grin.
Cilia Iskrin, are you eventually making it back to the tavern, or are you going to keep wandering about?
Is Iskrin still like, what's this? What's this? There's magic there? Is he still doing that?
A good flick over the ear, and he just focuses up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, are we here for long? Are we leaving soon?"
Celia's like, I have something I want to sell. So is there like a magical weapon caravan?
Yeah, I mean, you can find pretty much. Do me an investigation check. What are you trying to sell?
The Morning Star.
Okay, the Vicious Morning Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I treat those not necessarily as truly magical. It's just they're very well made type idea. So yes, you do find a high level weapon maker. In fact, you noticed them as they were going around with Iskrin. Has a lot of not only ornamental, ceremonial weapons that are heavily jeweled, but also just some really, really nicely deadly, we'll call them, deadly weapons of all different types. It seems like there's two brothers who are working in here. And they one seems to be more for the ornamental and decorative. The other one seems to be more for the vicious, so to speak.
I go to the one that looks a little bit vicious.
Okay.
I go to the one that's decorative.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of put the Vicious Morning Star down, and she's gonna say, "I'd like to sell this." Or possibly trade if you have something that.
And he sort of looks at you and this is a nice weapon. Picks it up, sort of looks it over. Trying to get rid of it. You say, "Oh, certainly barter is another way we could go about this." Anything specific you're looking for? He sort of looks down and sees the rapier on your hip. I have a fairly deadly rapier that I would be happy for an even trade.
Celia, she nods and she says, "Can I see it?"
And pulls out a, again, it's functional, very well made. The first thing you notice is the balance is incredible, and the edge. I mean, this is it's not even just that you could just shave with it. I mean, you could, cut paper snowflakes with it, with the edge that has been put on this. It has a nice. There is a little bit of ornamentation on it, but it's not ostentatious like some of the other weapons are. Just has a nice sort of scroll work that goes down the blade. and but functional. The metal is dark, almost matte, so that it wouldn't reflect too much light, as though he might be aware that might be something that would interest you.
Can I insight to see if, like, he's telling the truth, they're both about the same price type of deal thing?
Yep, you can do an insight check on them.
Can I glance over to see if it's magical?
23.
Yeah, it's mundane, just incredibly well. I mean, it's a D&D vicious weapon. Like I say, I don't treat vicious weapons as truly magical weapons. And on 23, no, he seems to be, this is sort of his entry-level vicious weapon, and they pretty much, because of the amount of work that goes into them, a Morning Star has the chain work that has to go to it, a mace would have, the extra metal for the extra weight. In general, it seems to be a good trade.
Celia will nod and say, it's a good deal.
Yep. And so, he trades you out the Morning Star for a vicious rapier. So you can swap that open for yourself.
What's this decor kind of guy doing at the current time?
What you see here, I mean, it's a lot of ornamental weapons. They are very similar to some of the ornamental weapons that you all collected that were in Vertex's collection in his room. It seems to be this is kind of right up this guy's alley, that he deals in functional but mainly flashy. They've all got some extra jewels on them. Nothing quite crazy jewels, but I mean, they are for the discerning buyer who would like to have a little bit more statement made by their weapon and it still be functional.
All right, so as I walk in the area, taking the view of all the swords, all the gems, and all the excellently decorated weapons, and then I just kind of say out loud, "Don't worry, Lyle. It's not to make you jealous."
Oh, you think I'd be jealous of this?
Oh, no, of course not.
Ugh.
Of course not.
Flash and trash. You always did have an eye for the Flash.
He just hi, and he's gonna turn to the man, lady, or whatever, and then pull out the weapons, the two gem swords, and goes,
"Well, hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
Alive.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I pulled myself together recently.
Did you?
Yeah. I was just a mass of energy floating around for a bit, but I'm glad to be back.
Oh, the vice get you? Yeah, that can happen.
It got me once. It sent me back. It sent me across the land. I think. I didn't, and back at the Floatus. No, but no.
First, I've heard of that one. Well, as they say, just sort of ride the wave when they come. You never quite know what you're going to get when the vice acts up. So those are nice.
Are they?
Looking at. I would say so. Don't you think they're nice?
They go okay. I mean, then he just pulls out Lyle. He's like, and puts Lyle down and tells her, he's no Lyle. He's no Lysynthia.
Well, depending on what you're in the market for, I guess. Are you looking to sell these, or are you just pulling them out to show off?
Wait, I can sell things here?
Yes?
Oh, is this the thing we do with the currency?
Oh, this hurts.
Like Celia get there and save him before he gives away all these things for cheap.
You literally are standing all but right next to him, so I mean it's...
Please say something.
Yeah, Celia's just gonna walk over and kind of look at the guy and be like, no. And pull Iskrin away from the cart.
Lyle jaunts back to his hand.
Yeah.
You gotta pick the swords up?
I was going to say, there's two gem swords. It's like,
Right.
don't forget your swords.
Celia will nod and like dash over and then dash back with the swords.
Let me know if you're trying to sell them. And he's just sort of left very confused by the whole thing. And he sort of goes over to his brother and is like, what the hell was that? What was that?
Before they
That's
get out.
the start of a beautiful relationship.
I'm gonna say that's a very standard couple, I imagine.
Before they get out of earshot of those two, Ishgrin says, "Oh, but I wanted to try and get some cookies." When they come out, has the music started yet?
Yeah, Iska's probably at this point is about into her third set, so it's been going great. This third set was another Nat 20 set, so the audience, this is sort of the end of the reception. There's sort of more slow dancing going on. Sort of the older folks are, if they are this is like the good oldies set, but everyone's loving it. People are ordering dessert. People are ordering dessert wines. People are ordering shots, sort of like those, after dinner cordials. Suddenly you see cigars and pipes getting lit up as people are, nodding appreciatively of this night of entertainment and music.
Okay. So, upon hearing that, this is what he's going to do. He's going to cease. So you can see Iska from where he is up on the stage, yeah?
Iska it's almost a 6 foot tall stage. It's 360. There's tables all the way around. In fact, this is where she's under the starlight because the way that the roof has been peeled back in this area. Sort of in this big sort of oblong tent. Sort of think about a 30% wedge has been taken out and rolled all the way up, so you sort of have an open air stage. And then there's the bar is sort of behind her, and then there's tables literally all the way around her, both under the tent and then spilling out all the way, halfway across the road, halfway out into the midway. It is a huge crowd. There's probably 300 to 400 people here. Tabaxis are running across the catwalks up above. You see all manners of races and people, and again, fairly concentrated amounts of magic. All through this, and everywhere you've been, there is magic.
All right, and so we're seeing that, and then seeing Iska up there, and she's playing.
She's not playing Children of the Children yet. She's sort of playing some more sort of golden oldies type songs.
So, with that, he's going to see Celia, look at Celia, look back at Iska, and just turn to Celia and go, "Is this what she does? This is beautiful. This is wonderful. Quick, come on!" And he's going to take her by the hand and tell her run. So teleport run.
Yeah.
So basically blink the quickest way possible. Stop by a table where Luck is sitting at, and just.
And so I had him by the head and I put him against the tree. Yes.
He just shows up in as you're doing a headlock, and disappears, and you just goes Luck. So, Iska's playing. She's doing.
Yeah,
she's
I
doing
love
the music.
that woman up there. Iska would
I
love
know.
it.
I'm so glad she's alive. Teleports away with a cigar.
You basically just you and your friends just got glitter bombed, Luck.
Poop bombed.
Where did you get the cigar from?
He has a.
Wherever.
That guy.
That guy, just like the bacon.
And then they're going to head over to where the people are dancing, and he's pretty much just going to start fight style dancing.
He's essentially Bugs Bunny. He can pull minor props from wherever he needs to.
Pretty much.
As long as there is a large crowd.
Instead of hammer space, it's glitter space. Got it.
Oh yeah.
So, Celia, how are you reacting to having gotten pulled along with this dizzying trip back and forth across the Leaping Lion Tavern? I assume Axel saw this whole thing go down. Did you fall off your perch as you saw it?
I think, Axel would have actually gone down and chased after a screen. Just like cat through the crowd trying to get after a screen. Probably a bit too far, but he's a bit hyper.
Yeah, you've been drinking a little bit too. There's a good Dwarven brown here, right out of Stone Anvil. So it is tasty and smooth and cold. Which cold beer, you're used to cold beer actually from Grom and also living a little bit to the north. But Grom was always a fan of cold beer, so apparently they've got someone who's keeping beer cold here. So Celia, you've been taken on a dizzying trip with now Tabaxi in tow.
Whenever it stops, Celia just kind of like stays still to like compose herself for a little bit, and then she looks at Iskrin and his fight dancing that he is doing.
He's kung fu fighting.
He's got a cigar in his mouth, and he's just going to look over and just go, "Death magic. You want some? Death wave." Not good for the form.
Then why are you offering to? Never mind.
He's just going to look at her at that point and be like,
kind of shake her head, be like, "I'm good." And she's gonna like kind of try and calm him down from the kung fu fighting dancing that he's doing and show him how to actually dance.
Okay. I mean, I kind of think of this almost as kind of like that sort of North Carolina sitting by the dock of the bay type music, brown-eyed girl. So, sort of upbeat but good listening music. And
at this point, Kel would have been, kind of edging closer during all of this, and would probably have seen Axel up on top of his pole. And when he sees Axel dash away after Iskrin, Kel is going to scamper up the pole and sit at the top of that perch that Axel just vacated.
Okay. Yeah, and Iska's final little bits coming up here in a minute. We'll actually say that Iska's about this point is getting into about to play Children of the Children. Luna, you're there by the bar. It's sort of a quiet, darker corner, somehow out of the fray, even though it's crazy here. And about midway through Children of the Children, someone sort of encroaches on your personal space from a little bit behind you. You hear a voice from behind and a bit above you. "Well, hello there. Look what the waves washed in."
Luna's not laughing. This is me.
Yeah.
Luna,
Would that be classed as
turn over her
pickup line?
shoulder. She looks over her shoulder, or up, whatever, over and up.
Okay. You see a tall, leanly muscled, crooked, sort of wry smile and laughing eyes. He's wearing sort of a well-tailored yellow tunic with open lace up neck and sort of cap sleeves. Suede leggings, well-maintained black leather boots. Seems to have a small ornamented dagger on one hip and a rapier on the other. He's kind of looking at you with a kind of how do you do smile. But his most striking feature is his spiky quartz crystal hair. He is an Earth Genasi.
Ah! Sweet, now I've met a living Genasi of every kind. However temporary it may have been in some cases. Yes, she's just gonna kind of raise an eyebrow.
You don't need to wear that hood around here.
Really?
Well, no.
Duly noted. And she leaves it where it is.
Huh. So I guess you're from the West then.
Yes?
Yeah, you are from the western
Okay,
side of the
okay, make sure.
continent. Yeah, you're from the western side of the continent.
So she'll nod. Force of habit.
I guess so. So, what brings you this direction?
She'll indicate the stage.
Oh, lovely song. So, and he sort of seems to now see the sash. So you're with the Arcana Mystica?
I have spoken with their members before.
Oh, okay. Huh. That's interesting. So, this must be not of your taste, then, I guess. So much unregulated magic all in one place.
I am not a member, so it makes no difference to me. There is a difference between being part of it and coming to an arrangement.
Ah. So you're a sellout.
That would imply I'm performing services.
Well, what other kind of arrangement do you have with the Arcana Mystica?
One that is not your concern.
Okay.
For the time being.
This is going to take some getting used to. We haven't been over on the west side in, 14 years now.
Is it more open on the east?
Well, yeah. I mean, you still got a few people who are superstitious, but it's not nearly, I guess, what you've gone through. And of course, all of us here under Mim's tent, we have it easy. I know we do. So I shouldn't fault you for that.
You should not. But I understand your initial response.
Well, if you want to swing by later on, the rest of us are hanging out later back at our tents.
So she will ask her location.
He sort of points over to the sort of west of where you are, back over in Madam Mim's type, sort of deeper into the Madam Mim's compound. And you see him pick up probably 5 beers, and sort of go out through a flap you didn't notice before. And as you go out, you see a couple different figures there. The one that you see, especially in the darkness, is there seems to be a girl there that has a waterfall of fire hair that almost reaches the ground. And he seems to hand out beers to the rest of these folks, and they kind of are laughingly walk off sort of into the night.
She hasn't played her song yet. I can't leave.
Oh no, I was saying that he had finished up. That
I'm sorry. No, that was.
Yeah, no, he didn't talk until the song was over.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. That's what I was saying. Is that's after the song ended, he brought up the conversation. Is when he tried to hit on you. It was after that.
In that case, she probably actually would have gone.
Okay, so we can do that. We can read that. So yeah, he says, "You're welcome to join us."
I welcome your education.
Okay, and can I get you something while we're here? I get a discount.
Water is all I need.
Right. Okay. And he grabs the beers and he sort of leads, sort of gives you the sweeping gesture to lead the way. And as he opens up the tent flap, you see 4 other Genasi. You see a fire Genasi, a young male water Genasi, and 2 air Genasis are all there. All sort of, you now are seeing that this yellow outfit that he has on, they all sort of match as though they might be actually costumes from a performance. That this is might be somewhat of their troops costume, so to speak. With that, we will, as Luna goes off into the night with these other Genasi.
Element party.
Yeah, elemental party. We are going to just do a quick stop in with Kel. I'm going to tell you what, we're going to come back and we're going to do a quick stop in with Kel, because what I really want to do, I'm going to see if I can get the stream up while we go on break. So we're going to go on break real quick. I'm going to see if I can get it going back up on mine, just because it'll be a little bit easier for the second part if I've got mine up and running. So we're going to go offline, and then we'll be right back, guys. Hopefully it's working. If not, we'll be back with Good Guy Pie hosting again. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
After these messages.
Yeah. Let me know when we're clear.